October's greetings. I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and when I'm not packing only the essentials, a hockey mask and a razor blade tipped glove, I'm here at Camp October reviewing movies.
Cute, but the blood looks like ketchup.
Well, I'm continuing my coverage of the Sleepaway Camp films, whether you like it or not. But at least this video isn't a redo, as I'm covering Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers, directed by Michael A. Simpson and released in 1988.
Speaking of unhappy campers, sir, our campers have been complaining about not having clean drinking water.
Camping is all about roughing it, Goulash.
But, sir, I think the campers in Cabin 2 have contracted some kind of norovirus.
Not my problem. They probably arrived at camp with a deadly norovirus. Anyway, the original Sleepaway Camp was only a modest success upon release, making $11 million on a $350,000 budget, which is impressive. It made about double what My Bloody Valentine made, for example, but Sleepaway Camp still wasn't a massive hit. It slowly found a cult audience on home video and during the internet age. Sleepaway Camp made enough, though, that one of the producers wanted a sequel, but the original film's creator, Robert Hiltzik, had since started a family and became a lawyer, so Hiltzik opted to license the rights to the sequels rather than be involved, and the first two sequels would be very different from the original without Hiltzik's idiosyncratic perspective, for better and worse, with these sequels instead being written by comedian Michael Hitchcock under the pseudonym Fritz Gordon. Why would anyone want to hide that they wrote a Sleepaway Camp sequel? Double Helix, the production company behind the second and third Sleepaway Camp films, decided to shoot them back-to-back, both on a budget of $465,000 each, to try to guarantee a profit while the horror market was being oversaturated and as the slasher subgenre faded in popularity with audiences. Still, the marketing of Sleepaway Camp 2 largely focused on associating itself with the likes of heavy hitters Jason and Freddy, with the advertising further hinting that the sequel takes on the somewhat desperate tongue-in-cheek comedic approach that many horror movies had adopted towards the end of the 80s. If audiences aren't scared of these villains anymore, maybe these villains can make them laugh.
If food don't kill you, the service will.
Misleadingly, the most famous of Sleepaway Camp 2's posters doesn't actually feature the actress that plays Angela or any other character in the movie, instead featuring a model named Connie Craig. The original actress who played Angela, Felissa Rose, was approached for the sequel, but Rose had begun college and she felt after a long lapse in acting that she wasn't the right fit for the direction they were taking Angela in, with the production instead casting Pamela Springsteen.
Nice girls don't have to show it off.
After she was born in the USA, Springsteen could prove it all night through her supporting roles that she had a hungry heart, and it's clear that by playing girls in their summer clothes, like Angela here, that these really were Pamela Springsteen's glory days, until she started working for a living.
I don't know what to say.
Pamela Springsteen also has a celebrity connection you might not be aware of. She was once engaged to Sean Penn, her Fast Times at Ridgemont High co-star.
Pamela Springsteen is also Bruce Springsteen's sister.
No, she's not. Quit lying.
It's true!
I would have mentioned it already if it was true.
Sir, when you were introducing her, you said the titles of like 5 Bruce Springsteen songs. I think there was even a Huey Lewis and the News song mixed in there.
If I did say any Bruce Springsteen songs just now, it was only a coincidence.
Whatever.
Anywho, with Sleepaway Camp 2's obvious changes in casting and tone from its predecessor, how does it hold up as a slasher flick? Surprisingly okay, actually. Here's my review of Sleepaway Camp 2 Unhappy Campers. But first, I have a message from my sponsor, me. Pledge to my Patreon today to support the channel, help it continue to grow, and you'll also get access to weekly movie nights every Sunday and archive commentaries if you missed the movie nights live. Just $5 a month to get a movie night every week. Here are the movies I'll be streaming next Sunday. Pledge to patreon.com/Dr. Wolfula if you're interested in my bonus streams, and I thank you in advance.
Michelle screamed as loud as she could as she ran through the graveyard.
I've heard this story 1,000 times.
Sleepaway Camp 2 takes place 5 years after the events of the original film, and the violent tale of Camp Arawak has become a vaguely remembered ghost story told around the fire of Camp Rolling Hills.
There used to be this camp about 60 miles from here. Camp Arawak.
And despite Arawak from the original film only being 60 miles away from Rolling Hills, in a short time, nobody seems to remember who the killer was, even though the body count was apparently 30.
About 30 people were killed, and the camp had to be closed down.
And Sean here's dad was the cop who arrested the killer, Angela Baker.
My dad's a cop. He helped arrest her.
This is all just for the sake of getting Angela's backstory out of the way, and it's also revealed that Angela got a surgery allowing her to fully transition as a woman.
The doctors gave him a sex change, and our parents' taxes paid for it.
Which makes this just about the most terrifying campfire story you could tell J.K. Rowling.
I heard 2 stories. One, that he's dead, and 2, that he's in Hollywood playing the dark-haired girl on The Facts of Life.
Unbeknownst to the campers swapping stories, the Angela Baker of their campfire tale isn't hanging out with Blair, Natalie, Tootie, and the rest of the gang on The Facts of Life, but instead Angela Baker is one of Camp Rolling Hill's counselors, now known as Angela Johnson. She doesn't have a Johnson anymore, so I figure she needed to memorialize it.
You're supposed to be in the cabin, let's go.
Just a second. Now.
Yeah, though, changing her last name is all Angela needs to disguise herself. It's one thing to just be passing, it's another thing to have nobody recognize you as the killer of 30 people. Pretty sneaky, sis. But Angela doesn't like people digging up her past. Talk about having a loose tongue.
What a bad camper.
At Camp Rolling Hills, Angela works for the benevolent Uncle John.
Whatever happened to the good kids in the world?
Don't talk like that, Uncle John. There's lots of good kids.
It's not clear if this dude is Angela's actual uncle or just one of those fucking weirdos that insists everyone call him their uncle. Probably makes you sit on his lap too, sick fuck. Angela herself has become vibrant and outgoing. She has more dialogue in 10 seconds of the sequel than she does in the entirety of the original film.
I used to be shy. I'd never talk to anyone. Now you can't get me to shut up.
So something can be said about transitioning, helping Angela's confidence. Her doctors just didn't quite address the whole murder thing Angela's into. That was maybe really the main thing they should have focused on first.
I was once a camper myself, but it wasn't anything like this.
Having Angela fully transition feels like the sequel trying to downplay the transgender elements of Angela's character, though. It's still brought up a little bit disparagingly.
She's alive.
It's a guy.
But it really feels like they wanted to focus on the idea of Angela being a killer camp counselor, and consequently, Angela's character is changed up quite a bit for the sequel. Angela's made into a total Girl Scout in the sequel, singing dorky camp songs.
Oh, I'm a happy camper. I love the summer sun.
This song sucks, but it's still better than her brother's music. And Angela notably has a strict, warped moral code imparted upon her by her wacky Aunt Martha.
There's a saying that my aunt taught me. Keep your morals strong and you'll never go wrong.
An element that wasn't in the original film. And this sanctimoniousness has ironically made Angela very much like her old camp counselor nemesis Meg. A bit of a bitchy control freak.
Uncle John's gonna hear about this.
Though, Angela doesn't target her disdain towards her campers for no reason like Meg would. Though, in Meg's defense, she wasn't fucking killing people either. Angela's desire to return to camp as a counselor is possibly Angela desperately wanting some sense of control after having control over herself taken during her childhood.
I don't like being the Wicked Witch of the West, but I know what happens when things get out of control.
Angela desires a place where she can reclaim her lost childhood. Angela may not have intended to be a killer again, but possibly hearing the story of Camp Arawak reawakened her murderous side.
And then you tell that awful story, scaring those kids half to death. Screw you, Angela.
Pamela Springsteen is great as Angela. She's not an amazing actress, but she manages to play Angela as a difficult character to read, possessing a seemingly kind gentleness to her performance with an air of malevolence behind this facade.
There's lots of good kids. We just have to weed out the bad.
Her maternal side makes Angela's killings seem like mere punishments from a stern mother.
Let this be a lesson to you.
It's a very interesting take that gives the sequel's Angela an actual personality and makes Springsteen's take a likable villain.
Dead teenagers' brains. What's really in there? Dead teenagers' brains.
Angela herself is shown to still be uncomfortable with sexuality and romance, which feels like a more consistent undercurrent from the original film to the sequel that's shared with a lot of other slasher villains. The idea of Angela just being a repressed, prudish outcast who eventually snaps.
I'm sure we'd all agree that you have nice breasts. Nice girls don't have to show it off.
But Angela doesn't exactly have great options when the only dude who wants to date her is TC.
I was thinking if you'd like to come down to the pool and swim.
No thanks.
The mullet-sporting male counselor who was seriously pushing 40 when they shot this film.
I'll talk to you later. Call you.
Where are you going to call me? I don't have a phone.
Loser doesn't even have a phone. That's a big departure from Robert Hiltzick's vision of the original Sleepaway camp. He wanted to depict a realistic camp populated by actual kids and teens. But while there are a few actual teenage campers in the sequel, most of the campers in the film are in their 20s, pushing 30, or in TC's case, even pushing 40. I'm not joking, this guy turned 73 last August. Angela herself is supposed to be 18 or 19, but Pamela Springsteen was closer to 30 than 20 when they shot this.
I'm still a virgin. And I'm proud to be one.
Hell, one of the campers looks like she's somebody's grandma they brought to camp. Like they ran out of young-looking extras to put in this movie. On the flip side, though, this Sleepaway Camp movie has titties in it, and they're pretty great. The chicks in this movie don't even need an excuse to flash their calcium cannons.
Nice tits.
Go ahead and joke. But I never thought pornography was funny.
So it's a pretty good trade-off if it means I have to watch people old enough to send their own kids to camp singing kindergarten songs and finger painting.
Angela will dookie in her pants.
I will say, though, a downgrade with the sequel becoming a more cookie-cutter slasher flick is the characters besides Angela aren't particularly memorable or interesting.
The oatmeal's okay.
Well, so many of the original film's cast of characters really stood apart from each other, especially the bullies. Renee Estevez, one of Martin Sheen's lesser-known kids, plays Molly, the survivor girl who's pretty bland, even by survivor girl standards.
I'm so shy sometimes.
And she's dating Sean, who's just some dude.
I almost went to Campier whack the year all those kids got killed, but my daddy couldn't afford it.
Oh man, you're lucky.
What are you telling me?
But Angela takes a shine to Molly because Molly is, to Angela at least, the one other beacon of goodness in the whole camp.
Sean's smart. He knows a good thing when he sees it.
The rest of the chicks in the movie, personality-wise, blend together as just kind of bitchy.
Shote, shit, get it?
There are the Shote sisters, aka Shit Sisters, who are a couple of skeevy wastoids, but the movie doesn't get much mileage out of them, and the dudes in this flick are a bunch of dorks with mullets. Nothing to write home about.
I got a date.
With who? His left hand.
There is some bullying in the second film, but the misbehaviors seem so benign in comparison to what was seen in the original film. The guys do some panty raiding, dump water on Angela, or take creeper pics of the rest of the girls. Pretty cliche Animal House shit. Any conflict in the sequel feels really forced.
I don't hate you.
Don't give me that goody-goody shit. Look, do me a favor and leave me alone.
Which I guess makes the sequel a more pleasant viewing experience, but between kills, Sleepaway Camp 2 gets a bit boring, with a repetitive cycle of Angela telling Uncle John that she just sent home any missing campers. They definitely aren't dead.
You sent them home?
Though this annoying bitch definitely should have died.
I want to go home. I hate this place. Let me go home.
Well, I hope you come back next year.
No way.
And the film meanders towards the end like the writer's trying to hit his page quota and wrap things up.
And here's what you get for telling evil stories and having such a filthy mouth.
Speaking of which, let's chat about the kills of Sleepaway Camp 2. Now, in the original film, Angela's killings are carried out against those who have done her wrong. In the sequel, though, it has Angela mostly following the standard Friday the 13th formula of the killer punishing teens for fucking and getting high. After a knife catches Phoebe's tongue, Angela catches the Shit Sisters drinking the hard stuff, smoking reefer, and fucking some dude. But then perverting Angela's Happy Camper song is where their fates are really sealed.
I'm a happy camper. I love to drink and fuck. And if you pay me money on my titties, you can suck.
When Brooke's shit comes to later, she finds her sister Jody's shit looking extra crispy. But as a cop-out, there's no effect for Brooke burning alive.
Say no to drugs.
It just happens off-screen. Lame! Later that night, after Angela catches Mare flashing the guys,
Just say you're sorry.
Never.
Angela realizes that what the girl really needs to settle down is a good screw. The next day, the guys plan to pull a prank on Angela by scaring her while wearing really shitty horror cosplays.
Forgive Angela? One hell of a nightmare.
Anthony dressed as papier-mâché Freddy, and Judd dressed as dipshit Jason.
Listen, I'm going to take a piss. If you don't have that glove by the time I get back, I'm leaving without you.
Beating Freddy vs. Jason to the market by 15 years.
Hey, faggot, where are you?
What kind of faggot runs around in a Christmas sweater?
But Anthony loses his glove in the woods, only to find it in the last place he'd check, inside his neck. And Judd ultimately discovers that Angela's a lot more serious about her horror cosplay, wearing a very realistic Leatherface mask because, well, it's actually Mare's face, putting to rest who would win in a fight between Jason and Leatherface.
Once I start a task, I always finish.
At least the poster isn't just marketing. The following day, Allie here fucks some dude in the woods, and he looks like he's really enjoying it.
That was fun. Listen, you don't have AIDS or anything, do you?
No.
Well, you do now, champ.
See ya.
And later, Allie finds a note supposedly from Sean to meet her at the old abandoned cabin where nobody will be able to hear her screams. And Allie arrives hoping for some back shots from Sean.
I didn't think you'd fall for it. You're dumber than I thought.
You're more fucked up than I thought.
But you'll have to settle for backstabs from Angela, as Allie is drowned by Angela in a shit, piss, and leech-filled outhouse.
Leeches, Allie, for a leech like you.
Talk about letting your life go down the crapper. In the following evening, Demi lets on that she's been trying to get a hold of all the campers Angela's been, sending home.
Well, when I called and asked her mom if I could speak to her, she told me she was still here.
And Angela figures, well, she might as well send Demi home, too.
You talk too much.
And when Leia stumbles on Angela sending Demi home...
Demi, what are you doing?
Angela might as well send Leia home, too. Everyone in this cabin is just so homesick.
Looks like you and I are the only two left.
But Uncle John isn't so pleased with Angela, sending campers home without consulting him first.
But I've told you before, nobody's to be sent home without my permission.
Though if Uncle John knew how Angela intended to send home campers, he probably wouldn't condone it anyway.
I want you out of here before lunch.
But Uncle John fires Angela for not understanding that she just wants to send campers home early to their creator up in heaven.
She's real upset. I was hoping we could help her out.
While Molly and Sean try to cheer Angela up, they stumble on all the campers Angela had been sending home, and I guess nobody told her their home wasn't an abandoned cabin out in the woods. But Angela can explain herself, but who needs to do that when hitting a guy with a stick is a lot more fun? And Sean and Molly are held captive. Thankfully, TC comes to their rescue. Unfortunately, no one is around to rescue TC after he gets a face full of battery acid.
Would you like a second cup?
Seeing Angela do the whole murder thing firsthand finally rings a bell for Sean. She must be the Angela who his dad arrested after she killed all those people at that other camp.
The angel of death. You're Angela Baker. You killed all those kids at Campier.
Yeah, no shit.
How do you know so much about me?
My dad's a cop. He helped arrest you.
Angela decides she's had enough from Sean, but before she can chop his head off, it somehow turns to wax and she finds a good place for it. Welcome to prime time, bitch! I bet Anthony would have liked that if he was still alive.
I'll be back in a few minutes, and TC and Sean can keep you company.
While Angela heads out to give Molly an opportunity in the plot to escape, Molly does just that, but not before very unconvincingly knocking Angela out with a stick. We did 20 takes and that was the best one.
Stop! I just want to be your friend!
Angela corners Molly in front of a cliff, but Molly does Angela's job for her as Molly gets herself killed.
Poor Molly. You almost made it.
Back at camp, Diane, the other female camp counselor I'm just now mentioning, who was inexplicably absent for most of the film, well, she finds that all the campers are dead and alerts Uncle John, but Uncle John is way ahead of her on the whole everyone is dead thing. But Angela finishes catching Diane up on things.
Good night, campers.
Later, in a day-for-night shot, Molly turns out to be alive because the movie can't end at 75 minutes, while elsewhere, Angela hitched a ride with some southern broad.
I quit these things so many times I had to quit.
Mind cracking a window?
Crack a window, will ya?
Crack a window, Goulash! Crack open all the windows! So anyway, Molly tries to hitch a ride herself, but finds she might not be country enough for this vehicle.
Got it, partner!
And the movie ends at 76 minutes instead, with the slowest credits imaginable to try to make the movie seem longer. They even thank you for reading the credits in the credits, and actually they're very welcome.
I mean, the way I see it, I'm just too dumb to drink, and I'm too fat to fuck.
Sleepaway Camp 2 doesn't have the bite of the original film, and is instead a fairly simple slasher movie with the tongue-in-cheek comedy that became increasingly common in horror movies at the time. But it's still a fun sequel with some okay kills and a memorable performance from Pamela Springsteen. Sleepaway Camp 2 just loses steam after a while and can feel padded out even at 80 minutes with credits. At one point in the movie, Angela has a dream about stuff that happened in the movie, for God's sake.
You're more fucked up than I thought.
I give Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and Uncle John out of Aunt Martha.
Martha? What does that mean? Why did you say that name?
Because it's the name of a character from these movies.
Oh yeah, right, I forgot.
This video is made possible through the pledges of my Patreon supporters, and I'd like to give a very special thanks to the kind folks pledged to my shoutouts tier. All of their support on Patreon means a lot to me, and it helps my dark influence continue to grow. If you liked this video, like it, and if you loved it, click the subscribe and bell buttons for more videos. Be sure to also keep in touch by following me on social media at Dr. Wolfula. While I still have your attention, consider pledging to my Patreon to support the channel and get bonus content like private movie night streams with me and credits in my videos. Consider pledging at patreon.com/Dr. Wolfula. Also, check out official Dr. Wolfula merch on tpublic.com/user/Dr. Wolfula. Thanks for watching. Dr. Wolfula signing out.